there is a selfie bathroom.
Yes.
Basically. It's a single occupancy. There's two of them, actually. And there will be a line at the doors waiting for everyone to go in and take their shirtless selfie in the mirror.
Happy Pride, everyone, and welcome back to Making It Awkward. I'm your host, Jessica Wilson, clinical dietitian, author of It's Always Been Ours, and you can find me on Instagram at jessicawilson.msrd. You can watch this in-person conversation on YouTube. Rating the show and leaving an Apple Podcast review really helps the show and gets me to places like the Maha Mom rally in DC that I recently attended. You can email the pod at makingitawkwardpod@gmail.com, and you can buy awkward merch on my website. This is an independent podcast supported by the members of the Patreon community. When you join as a paid member, my dad will welcome you to the community. Today's episode is closing out Pride Month with a discussion that's incredibly wide-ranging and a great time. We talk about gym culture among queer men, including a selfie-specific locker room mirror, peacocking among queer men, nudes, looksmaxxing, dating apps, and body dysmorphia. Caleb Draper is a first-timer on Making It Awkward, and they're joined by Blake Flaugher, who has been on the show to review Heated Rivalry and talk about butt stuff. The three of us connected through kickball, stories about which you'll hear sprinkled throughout this episode. One anecdote in particular involves Caleb as our first base person and a player from the opposite team telling them he liked what he saw. And then cut to me being taught about flirting politics regarding the DMs, which followed that interaction. These two are a lot of fun, and we'll be back next month with their reviews of the Australian horror film Leviticus. And with that, let's get into the chat. Caleb and Blake, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Glad to be back.
Do you want to share a bit about yourselves, your bios?
You go.
Okay. Yes, hello. My name is Blake Flaugher. I use he, him pronouns. I don't really know what to say other than Jessica was, well, and still is my work wife. Yeah, always happy to be a guest. But yeah, we did a lot of health equity work together, and now we're like besties and
play kickball together.
And we play kickball together. But my background is in queer and trans health. I have a master's in public health, so that's what I'm really passionate about. So yeah, queer and trans, social justice, HIV prevention and support, sexual health. I don't know. That's me.
Hi, everybody. My name is Caleb Draper. Pronouns are they or he, if you can't remember they. And I am a full-time student getting my bachelor's in health science and then hopefully getting my doctorate in audiology, and a part-time cycling instructor, full-time F-slur. Can I say that?
Yes. Blake did.
Oh, okay, good. I'm reclaiming it. And I met these two playing kickball.
Yay. So we started here because we've been talking about gym culture for a while, how the gays are at my gym and not so much at Planet Fitness. And I sent somebody's selfie to you from a gym. They were in their underwear in front of mirrors taking, their pictures. And I think you all were then introduced me to peacocking, the term. Yes. Uh-huh. And we have just developed a lovely thread about gyms and body image and queer men. Okay, and queer people. I loved your assessment of what some mornings at the gym look like, and people at the gym, including peptides and cocaine. And I want to hear about what this looks like.
Yeah, I am in fitness and have worked at, very well-known boutique fitness locations, and one in particular where the culture is just very like go, 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 get your workout. I mean, that's the culture everywhere, right? But
in a neighborhood too, right?
Yes.
So
yeah. And I mean, I should say I don't know that these people were on peptides. I assume some of them were.
Which peptides?
I have no idea. I'm on vibes, remember? So no research, all vibes.
But what are the family of peptides?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of GLP-1s. I think, I don't think this counts as peptides, but I think a lot of, human growth hormones and steroids and things like that and whatever. I mean, it seems like there's a whole new class of things that people are doing now that are maybe not typical of what was being done previously.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't know necessarily what the people are doing, but they're doing it.
Yes.
And I should also say, I mean, I wouldn't not try a peptide, if I'm being totally honest. I obviously know nothing about them, so I'd have to do some research on it, but mainly I can't afford them.
Try Roe. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, yeah, peptides.
What's it like at the gym when you're there?
Well, I am not a gym bunny. I'll say that. Like, my gym experience has been very, pretty limited.
Yeah.
I only started lifting weights, like, in the last year or so.
Yeah.
The last few months, more consistently than before, but I go to Planet Fitness.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
So, there's a very large variety of people in there at different skill levels in the gym. I feel like the Planet Fitness that I go to I feel like there are a lot of MAGA dudes in there.
Interesting.
Yes, and they play Fox News on the TV.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, and so, and sometimes contemporary Christian music. So, yeah, so first of all, I think I need to find a different Planet Fitness, but I think they're all the same. They're all the same? Yeah. Okay, one reason I still went with Planet Fitness was because they came out in support of trans people.
Oh, using the locker rooms
that align with their gender identities.
Right.
And I was like, that's so cool. So yeah, it's been interesting to find that the contradictions there in some other ways. But I guess, what do you mean?
What are your hashtag goals?
Oh, my goals. Okay. Well, as a kind of newbie, elder millennial, white, cis, gay.
Okay.
And I'm 40. I think that's important for listeners to know. Like, I just do like 3 days a week, total body. ChatGPT told me what to do, and then we just refine that as time goes on. But that's what I do. And then some cardio, some like treadmill jogging or something. So that's what I do. But I think definitely on this topic, first of all, male locker rooms are wild. There's also a certain smell to them, which is like, I don't know about that.
Does women's locker rooms
have
a certain smell?
Oh, our smells like...
I bet they do at Planet Fitness. No offense to Planet Fitness. No, I have a Planet Fitness membership too. But I bet they do.
Yeah.
What's the smell?
High school gym locker room.
Oh.
A smell that I have not smelled since high school, I think.
I know exactly the smell you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like musty, humid. It's like dirty socks.
Yeah. Okay.
There's just a wetness, a musky wetness.
Like there's dirty laundry in there.
Somewhere, and it's steaming. Like, I don't know. But yeah, of course, like there are like the younger guys who will, because there's a big mirror in the locker room itself.
Yeah.
In the showers or somewhere else. But usually the younger dudes will like, pose in front of the mirror and like take their selfies and that kind of thing. And so I'm just trying to get in and out.
You're in and out.
I'm trying to get in and out. At this gym, I don't even really want people to know that I'm obviously queer, which...
Sure.
I don't think I'll pull that off very well, especially when I'm carrying this around, which pretty much just says I'm gay. I'm gay and from Kentucky. No, exactly. So sometimes I'll turn the queer as fuck part to the wall.
So they just see Rose.
So they see Rose saying she doesn't want to blow her own Vertubenflugen. But anyway, so I don't know. I'm much more interested in hearing about your gym experience.
From the beginning to now.
Yeah.
From the beginning to now. Okay, so going back to where we left off.
How'd you get to working in fitness?
How did I? Well, I grew up doing musical theater, and so I was dancing a lot. And there is a pipeline from New York City musical theater dancers to SoulCycle.
Oh,
and
that's very
specific. I mean, a lot of, especially in New York. It is a great place. Shout out to SoulCycle. It's a great place for people to get kind of just a part-time job on the off hours, so that they have, and it has a lot of flexibility, so they can go to auditions and things like that. Yeah, so that's not quite what happened with me. I think the way I started working there is a little beyond the scope of this podcast.
Okay.
But I started working at SoulCycle when I was living in New York, and eventually came back to California with SoulCycle to open their Walnut Creek studio, which unfortunately just closed last weekend, which is sad.
Sad face.
And then later worked for other fitness companies as well. Yeah, so I didn't necessarily go in because I loved the work. I'd never done the workout. Not at SoulCycle. I wasn't, even though I am a cycling instructor now, was not intending to become a cycling instructor then, and didn't become a cycling instructor until much, much later. But I really liked the culture. It was really fun. It was like working at summer camp.
Nice.
You know, it was like, I remember my manager at my first studio was like, this is a company that truly still has true camp to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like we would print out the sign-in sheets and we would like use markers to like write the instructor's name and decorate it, and it was a physical sign-in sheet that people initialed and chose when they came in. And they would like, I think they would choose their spot then as well. Like, it was just like very DIY kind of, which was really fun, you know? And eventually I had a whole life between then and when I came back to fitness, which when I came back to fitness was because I'd been laid off from my recruiting job. Second time since COVID being laid off from a recruiting operations job with startups, and was just kind of like, I don't know what I want to do, but it's not this anymore. I kind of went back to what I knew while I figured out what I wanted to do, which was eventually go back to school, right? And so I spent another 2.5 years-ish when I was still in San Francisco working at Barry's. And and then I moved here to Sacramento to go to Sac State, and didn't really think I would end up back in fitness. But it's just something, it's just so easy to go back. Yeah, so that's how I got into it.
Interesting.
And yeah, a lot of interesting, you see a lot of interesting people working in boutique fitness spaces. Especially the more expensive they get, the more interesting the people get. Sure. You know, and yeah, you get people that it's like they work hard, they play hard, they work out hard. And so, you know, we'd be, you know, let's say we'd be a Sunday morning after, on a big weekend, let's say, and people are coming in and are like, I haven't slept yet. And, you know, and it's like, all right, well, good luck in there.
Came from an all-night party on Folsom Street.
Yeah. Which, you know, God, when I was living that life, I was not going to work out the next morning. So I respect it.
What do you think that commitment is about?
I think there's a lot of, I mean, it's a little bit of obsession with the aesthetics and the, you know, it's body dysmorphia, which obviously I know I have. I imagine you probably have. I think it's a very common.
Not me.
No, you. Okay. Oh, you don't?
No, I do. No, girl.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's the need to keep up the routine, and you know, in the gay community, it's like, especially, I think it's a little different for younger. I hope it's different for younger queer people than it was for our generation. And I think it may be reverting a little bit back to what it was for our generation. But but in any case, for our generation, I think we spent our entire childhoods not being right? Not being who we, not being good enough, not being whatever, right? And really like kind of hiding. And then you get to this kind of queer mecca like San Francisco, and you have opportunities to reinvent yourself.
Interesting.
And I think there's a bit of maybe fear of, if I miss anything, then I start to revert back a little bit. Does that make sense?
It does. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and you got me thinking too, because I mean, yeah, I totally agree. I have finally, you hear when people gain weight, lose weight, they weight cycle their whole life, right? From adolescence to adulthood. And I will look at pictures of myself when I was 18 and I had long, blonde, shaggy hair. And like, you know, I should have felt really good at myself because I was more conventionally attractive, right? But even when I was literally like 100 pounds lighter or 80 pounds lighter, I still hated my body. I hated the way I looked. I hated my hair. I hated, do you know what I mean? I just, there wasn't anything.
It's never good enough.
No, there was nothing. There was nothing about myself that I was conditioned to like. And I think part of that was, one, I was closeted. Two, I was raised in the South. Like, I was raised in Eastern Kentucky, in the Bible Belt, Central Appalachia. You know, as you were talking, I just started thinking, like, not even the not being good enough, but there's got to be a pipeline. I was really close to my mother. And in the 90s, the 2000s, we had a shitload of SnackWells in our house. Yeah. She was on, sorry, Mom. We don't talk anymore anyway. But she, you know, was on Weight Watchers, or, you know, I'd get messages about my body from her a lot. Or, you know, I remember she'd be like, we'd be out and she'd see a woman and she'd be like, Blake, am I as big as she is? Oh, right.
Wow.
Right. To like, but that comparison of, only smaller bodies, whatever. But it wasn't until I was older, even now, I try not to focus on my body. I try to focus on how I feel and what, because just all these messages, especially when you're just a queer person as well. Specifically, I'm a queer cis man, so that it can be very toxic. And I also know that it comes from a place of just wanting acceptance and belonging, and I don't know. Huge mental health intersection there that I'm sure we could talk about forever. But
yeah, I was thinking about this exact thing actually earlier. I remember when was this? It must have been 2019. I was shopping. It was like at a mall or something, and for some reason I was wearing a jockstrap.
It was Tuesday.
And I think maybe I had plans later. I don't know, but I was in the dressing room and I took a few pictures of myself, and I remember I was like, God, I hate my body. I will never use these photos, right? And then, I don't know, 3 years later or something, I came across those photos, and I remembered thinking how bad I looked, and 3 years later I'm looking at it and I was like, I looked so good. Yeah. Like, I looked good. There was nothing wrong. I was in great shape at that time. Sure. Right? And it was there was no reason for me to think I looked bad. And so I kind of I take nudes of myself all the time.
Yeah?
Now. Yeah, not that I necessarily share with people, but like if I like look at myself and I'm like, I think I look okay. That's a lot of times the best review of myself that I'll give, right?
Progress photos.
So I try to take a photo so that if I come across it a few years later, I can remember that I didn't think I looked as good as like maybe now I would. Does that make sense?
Use more words because it makes sense to me, but I want to make sure.
Yeah. Like, I want to have reminders now of, I guess, the negative feelings I had about myself then, and to be able to look and be like, no, I looked good there.
Got it.
So that when I take the photos now, I can say, you're going to think you looked good later.
Sure.
And try to remember that now so that I think you look good now, as opposed to 3 years from now when you see this photo, you're going to think you looked good even though you don't think you look good now. Does that make sense?
It does. Is there a folder for these on your phone, or do you just come across
scattered?
them?
I haven't, they're scattered. I have a folder that is to be shared. Photos that are to be shared. Photos or videos or whatever, it's to be shared.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
That, if I think I look good in the moment, then maybe it'll go into that folder.
Interesting.
Yeah, but no, most of the time, it's literally like I'll get out of the shower and I'm like, click, click, click.
Sure. Who do you share the folder? The to be shared folder?
Whoever deserves to see it.
Yeah.
I don't share the folder.
No, like
I'm
from the folder.
Going and choosing.
Yes.
The folder has photos from years ago in it as well that I'm not sending out because they're like 10.
Are we talking about the apps or?
It's a folder on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll share. Yeah, on the apps or
okay.
Usually people I meet on the apps.
Yeah. Do you have nudes?
Well, yes.
I don't have nudes.
Sorry, I think it's just...
You don't have any?
No.
Wow.
I never think about it.
I think it's normalized.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's just a picture of a body, and we can choose to send it or not, right? But I actually don't have... I have nudes for a purpose. I don't keep nudes for myself. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
To look back on. Or whatever. I remember there was actually this really horrifying moment. I have so many progress photos of like the first day.
Sure.
And I don't take the rest. I remember one time I was trying to find a photo, and my friend, which you're never supposed to look over someone's photo when they're, or shoulder when they're going through their photos.
It's so stressful.
But I was like, oh, it's fine. So my friend was looking over my shoulder, and it was just my my before photo. It was really embarrassing. But anyway, I take photos. Yeah.
Would you be embarrassed if I looked over your shoulder and saw those before pictures?
Before photos? No, it's more, not anymore. I don't think. I think it depends who it is, and it's also just, it's a funny thing to me now. Like, I'm pretty self-deprecating about a lot of things, so.
Say more about that.
Well, actually, for example, speaking of the apps and body image and weight and all this shit that we are sitting here talking and thinking about, is there was one time I was on a gay bar patio, and this was like pre-pandemic. It was probably like 3 weeks before everything got shut down. Maybe a month and a half.
Yeah.
But after we went to drag bingo.
I remember.
The last bingo. And we won. I won.
Yes.
Sorry.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. And, but I was on a bar patio, and there was this guy, and he was cute, and he was probably like 10 years younger. He was a mutual friend. We hadn't met before, but he was like really hitting on me. And I was probably like, and things go over my head. I'm in denial even when someone does hit on me. I'm like, no, I'm too disgusting, like whatever. But this guy was like, really into me. And so the mutual friend that we had came over, and he said, hey, like, he's really into you. Like, he's going to want your number, like all this, trying to like do, like mediate,
Sure.
Wing person. So I pull up Grindr, and he's on there, and his photo said that he was only into guys over 250. So
I remember.
I was fucking mortified at the time. I'm like, I am being chased.
Right.
I am chubby and I'm being chased.
Right.
And but at the end of the but also I'm like, Blake, someone is into you. Who cares? It is a you thing that you're upset by this. That's me. I'm like, it shouldn't matter. I don't like that I'm being pursued because they find my heavier weight attractive that I don't like myself.
Yeah. Right.
So that's uncomfortable to me. But at the end of the day, now I'm like, okay, someone can call me a bear. That's fine. That used to make me uncomfortable. Yeah. I think also I was called that before I reached an age where I was okay with that. I don't know. But I digress. But
not at all. I remember this.
Being chubby chased was a mind fuck for me.
Yeah, I think my issue with it is that, like, when it's just like saying no fats, no femmes, no twinks, right? Or having a racial preference. It's like, okay, well, if you have this weird limit listed of 250 pounds, then at what point are we just saying that you're fetishizing this community?
Sure.
And I'm not saying you should feel good about any, whatever you feel good about, feel good about it. But this pocket of the community that has been additionally marginalized already because of something that, that now you're saying like, oh no, you are that's what I want, which is nice. Right. Like, but it's just like one of those that, like, I don't like anybody who has any type of. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, like any type of specific limit like that, because it's like, well,
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, but even
my negative feelings are about him, not about you.
Oh, totally. No,
you should feel good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you bring up a good point that a lot of folks talk about, and it's problematic. Is where does the point between adoration and fetishization begin, and when does it become problematic? Some people like being fetishized in a certain way. You know, some people they choose to have a larger body because that does get them maybe attention from a certain subset, or hell, being bald. That brought me into a different category too. People will send messages, not like all the fucking time, but just like, oh, I want to rub your sexy bald head or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like I am not into that personally. So when people, like I said, if someone likes something that I don't necessarily like about myself, it brings up something different.
Yeah. The fetishization. Nope. Enjoy that, listeners.
Yeah, you got this.
Enjoy it. I think we talked about at the time, you were like, is this a fetish? And I said, well, is it a fetish when people only like thin people? Or is that just acceptable?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and like the jury, I think, is still out. But I really appreciate what you said about like only having parameters for anything or anyone. But yeah, are we fetishizing thin people when people are like only want thin people? I don't.
Yeah.
Jury out. But I loved what you said about that.
There was one app or platform or whatever that I put in my bio, like racial preferences are racist or something. You know what I mean? Like, and I would get a number of responses always from white men over a certain age telling me that it's not racist and that I'm actually the racist one for saying that it's racist and like all of these things and like whatever. And I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not like, whatever you're getting from this is your problem, not mine. But like, all I'm hearing is that you're racist.
Right.
and every white person is a little racist, you know, we all have to grapple with that and deal with it, you know, but it's like, okay, essentially, I'm saying more for me than anybody else anyway, but I am also happy that you're seeing it because I think it's probably something that you need to see. But it's also like that, you know, it's like when you come across a profile that's like BBC only or like...
What's that?
Big black cock.
Okay.
Is what that means. And it just like... I hate the whole preferences thing.
Well, yeah, and obviously, like, we experience that much differently on the apps than kind of what you said, like a person of color would, or like a black person, a white man, a Latino man, like, and even hearing my friends who do have those identities talk about it, they have wildly different experiences on the apps than I do. They will send me screenshots sometimes where I'm like, someone actually said that to you? It's fucked up.
Apps, flirting politics.
God.
I was arguing with you and the way that you were flirting with kickball person and playing games. I was like, how do you just
playing games?
Respond to his DM before. Yeah, but tell me. Yes.
Okay, listen. Did you ever? So we've all seen Clueless.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever watch the Clueless TV show?
No.
Okay.
Well, a little bit.
Sorry, but
you're missing out.
There is an episode where Cher she's receiving a phone call from someone, and someone's like, well, why don't you answer it? And she says, well, I have to give it 2 I Have a Life rings. And that's always stuck with me.
2 I Have
a Life
rings on the phone.
So it should ring twice so they know that you're not just sitting by the phone waiting.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's not, you know, your interpretation of what I was saying was that I was
playing games,
which I can admit it is a little bit of a game, I suppose.
Well, you said flirting politics, and I mean that is a thing.
I feel like it's pretty universal, though.
But I was just giving it 2 I Have a Life rings. Yeah.
I thought you were replying like in 2 days.
No.
And you were like,
I don't have the self-control for that, personally. So a lot of this is that it's like, I will respond just right away.
I saw your DM. Yes.
Yeah. And so I have to slow myself down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes. And I've been criticized for responding too quickly sometimes.
criticized, like
like
from your friends or from the person?
mainly from friends.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're talking with friends and you're like, oh yeah, I've been talking to this person, and, but then it just kind of fizzled or whatever, and they're like, oh, we were talking really quickly. We all responded pretty quickly, and they're like, yeah, you didn't give any mystery, or but if you wait too long, it's like, well, yeah, you didn't engage with them. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Got it.
So that's why I'm just
and everybody has an opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion.
Everyone.
Including us.
Yeah.
Yes, all of us. They're
Yeah.
different. Yes. I think also, like, talking about apps and flirting and all this, like, I am one of those people that's like, I think apps have really fucked our community up in a lot of ways. And I think they've also brought a lot of really joyful things as well. I don't know what actually outweighs. I don't know what the cost benefit is. I can say, like, when I was in Kentucky, I used to do sexual health outreach on these apps. I had like health educator accounts on like A4A and Grindr and like Craigslist. Yes, remember A4A. Ooh. And that was a lot of fun. But a lot of people a lot of queer people in rural areas use those apps just to connect to other queer people. It wasn't always about sex.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved here to California in 2017, and then I got on Grindr, aggressive. It was a totally different experience on Grindr. Not that I was getting blown up constantly, but
the apps in Sacramento are too much. Also.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Said from a San Francisco
Yeah, which is like, it's a lot there too. But,
yeah.
So I'll say the apps have been good for me because I don't go out a lot. So I'm not really meeting people at bars for the most part, right? Like, people don't realize this about me or they forget this about me, but I'm actually extremely shy, especially when it comes to that, right? So being out at a bar or even at the kickball game, like, I'm not necessarily picking up what's happening and I'm not necessarily comfortable delivering back. That situation was a little different, like that conversation just flowed, right?
It's fun to watch, though.
Yeah. So apps are good for me, right? Because being on the app and being able to text to start actually helps me to be myself a little bit more.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that if it goes well, when I meet someone in person, I'm already a little bit more comfortable being myself in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I don't necessarily show people the best side of me when I meet them at a bar or whatever. But the apps in Sacramento, I'm sorry to those of you on the apps in Sacramento. I know you're all listening. Yeah.
Every single one.
I do think because there is a lot more anonymity requirements in Sacramento, I think there are a lot of people who aren't out.
State governments and
Sure.
A lot of healthcare.
Or just random.
And we're surrounded by red country as well.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people who are, as we say, on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're getting messages from people without a photo, which is automatically I'm not going to respond to, which is the way I'm not going to ask.
NPNC.
Me.
What?
And I don't like I don't put that in my profile. I'm just like, no.
Yeah. No pic, no chat.
But they can also be very persistent especially when I first got here. It's like the fresh meat dichotomy in Sacramento is
so funny.
Is crazy. It was like I was getting, and I've never experienced this ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just constant messages, which is nice.
Well, goddamn.
But a lot of it, it's all stopped now. I've been here for almost a year, so I'm not getting any messages.
I'm like, tell me your secret.
Yeah, no, it's literally just moved to Sacramento. Yeah, that's the secret. But it got uncomfortable. People, someone messages you and you don't respond. And I'm very much like, I message people all the time and they don't respond. I don't expect a response from you. I'm not the type that's going to be like, well, you could have just told me if you're not interested, right? Like, that's not,
No,
I'm like, you showed me.
Get over it.
You showed me you're not interested and I accept that.
Yes,
Does it feel great?
Totally.
No, it doesn't feel great. I understand. But, so I'm the same way. If I'm not interested, I just don't respond. And I don't block until They come back and they're like, "Oh, so you're too good to answer," and I'll ignore that, and they would just keep going until finally I would just be like, "I don't understand what it is you think about this situation that means that I owe you any type of response, but I don't." And that's it. And then what I love to do though is I love to send that type of response. Wait to see that they've seen it, and then block.
Yeah. Just so the message was
I want them to see the message, but I also don't want to hear what they have to say after that.
Hell yeah. I love that. I'm easily creeped out, and so I will block, like, immediately. I think if someone messages me twice after I don't respond, you're creepy to me. Mm-hmm. I'm blocking you. Especially if you don't have a picture. But this is all probably a me thing. But no, that's real. And it also gets me thinking, like, when you're talking about, people have to let you know that they, like, oh, you could have just not responded, or you could have just responded and said you weren't interested or whatever. I'm like, we hear a lot about cis-het people and, like, incel mentalities. And, and, like, just that entitlement of, you owe me something. You owe me a compliment. You owe me your body. You owe me something. Right. Is so ridiculous. And that's definitely a man thing. It's a male culture thing. But yeah, just like an entitlement on apps from men. It's so disgusting. And even when we're talking earlier about like desirability politics and who gets a response, who doesn't, what's fetishization, what isn't. Like, I'm a big believer in just, no matter what, you don't have to fuck anyone you don't want to fuck. Just, period. If you don't, so I don't know why people don't just lead with consent. It's very,
You had on here incel attitudes about fuckability.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much my point.
Great. Should we talk about Clavicular?
Go for it.
Looksmaxxing?
I don't know a ton about him, but I know a little bit about looksmaxxing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's the looksmaxer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sure.
Now I'm like, I don't know what to say, but...
Well, I think...
But speaking of incels...
Wait.
Period.
I think I don't know that he is, but he is he is a manosphere leader.
Oh.
And so...
Is he gay? No. Okay, so keep talking. I just assumed with the obsession with the way that he looked that he might be queer.
No, well, I mean,
no.
As far as he's said, no. Okay. But he has been very upfront that he thinks men are more attractive than women. That he thinks men have stronger features. That they are, when they are at their optimal aesthetics, that they are more attractive than women. So it is a little bit like, well, so are you?
Again, I don't know a lot about Clavicular.
He's actually recently, so he apparently started testosterone so young. When he was like 14 years old, he started going on testosterone therapy, sneaking it.
Fascinating.
And now he's like in his early 20s, right? So he's been on testosterone, and not just testosterone, but also human growth hormone, steroids and peptides. He's on the peptides. He bone smashes.
Tell me more.
He breaks it's taking a hammer and hitting your like cheekbones and maybe your jawline or whatever to create, small fractures that will build up stronger bone.
It's like when they tell you to do like resistance exercise for bones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in your
so the bone builds up stronger. And so you'll have more prominent cheekbones.
I'll stick to my gua sha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can just start smacking yourself. But, so he started testosterone so young that he's now infertile. So what I've heard recently is that he has gone off of testosterone.
Okay.
Because he wants to try and regain fertility. And so it's kind of interesting because he actually, this is all on social media that I'm seeing this, right? So it's not like, we don't know what we're really looking at, but like when you see like a photo of him that is allegedly, like today, he looks much less
interesting
maxed than he did before because he's not on these growth hormones anymore.
He's mini.
He's looks minusing. Looks
Looks minimizing.
Looks minimizing, yeah.
Looks minimizing.
And then, of course, from that, now we are, and then we come full circle back to heteronormativity and transphobia, whereas now there are rumors going around that he's transitioning. And so that's how far we swing.
I'm gonna do the list, dude. Look,
he's fascinating.
Okay.
He overdosed on camera because he live streams. He's a live streamer on Twitch, and he and his other Manosphere friends were at some club in Miami, and he was on GHB, and they were like trying to give him Adderall to like bring him out of this like GHB hole, and he ended up having to he went to the hospital. They had to literally carry him out, which been there, but so yeah, he's really a great role model for the Manosphere.
Only reason I knew about him was because two trans women, I believe, visited him at a live streamed event to say we were the original looksmaxxers.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You are.
And he agrees with them.
Yeah.
In the video. Yeah. He's like, yeah, no, you kind of are. Yeah. It's like, not kind of.
Like, they were like, we have been doing this.
Well, the other interesting correlation, of course, it always has to come back to cis gay men, but the other correlation is that, like, what he's doing to really, bolster his masculinity is something that gay men have also been doing.
Got it.
Forever,
sure.
Right? Like,
What a journey.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and...
Yes, and...
Yes.
I think about these things and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, because we just talked about, like, substance use and looksmaxxing, which feels so funny even just saying. But,
Oh, and mogging. You're mogging.
Oh, mogging.
If I mog you, it means I look better than you.
Yeah, right. I have heard that.
It's like, so Clavicular mogs others when he looks better. Like, it's like, I think the official term is frame mogging, but I don't know what the frame, maybe it's like your
body.
Your body, but it's like, if I mog you, it means I'm doing something better than you.
Oh.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start using this.
Yes.
Oh, I do. With certain friends, I like to say I'm mogging them.
Okay.
Just as a joke.
So it hasn't entered our group chat, but it's over.
As of today, yeah.
It will now.
It will be there,
now.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Like, we got mogged yesterday on the kickball field.
Hard. We've actually gotten mobbed, like,
every week.
Every 4 out of 4 games so far. Like, and y'all, we're talking, listener, we're talking,
listener.
Dear listener.
12, we're talking like 12, 13, 0.
Not O. I got one.
Caleb got
Caleb did get one.
I got our sole home run yesterday.
MVP.
Listeners.
Yes. MVP. And our first one had it was 5 to 17 or whatever it was.
I think our first game was 6 to 10. Which is...
Yeah.
I got home that.
We'll get there.
Yeah, you did. I did not.
We might get one. Are we the worst team in the league right now? Yes. But it's fine. I don't know. I don't actually know that.
Making good friends.
Yes. Well,
Speaking of making good friends, bar culture, gym culture, kickball culture, when we did our check-ins, the first practice, what brought you out here? And 1/4 was we only meet people at bars, and I wanted to meet people. Those were particularly the older gays on the team who wanted to be making friends. You were sober-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was, you know what? I'll say this on the podcast. I was completely sober for many years. I think 9 years, and then in the last year or so, started introducing certain things back to how they say California sober.
Yeah. So not alcohol, but the other things.
Not alcohol and not everything, and mostly not anything, but
but some things. Wow.
Yeah.
We have not even scratched the body dysmorphia, body image, the gender dysphoria, the anything. What is peacocking?
So, I don't know how much you know about peacocks.
Oh, wait. The animal?
The animal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, we're good.
So, the males parade around showing their tails, right? Their plumage, yeah. And that's it's a mating sneak or call or whatever, right? So, and part of it is to show that you are the most impressive male, right? I don't think the females actually even have those, like, as nearly as ornate of tail feathers as the males do.
Yeah.
And the females choose based on whoever, has the best showing, right? And that also happens in gay culture at the gym, and so, working at Barry's, I can say I took my shirt off during class. Like, it gets so hot in there.
Teaching or...
No, the teacher doesn't. Just the...
Okay.
I was not an instructor either, so...
Oh, okay.
But just
they were a student.
The clients will take their shirts off because it gets so hot in there, right?
Sure.
But there is a level of kind of parading a bit as well, and, it's all kind of part of that culture of, like, and this is what this has gotten me, in a sense, right?
Okay.
And that is, I think, very common in the gay community. We had an umpire yesterday who the timer starts and she went, whoop, he. So there is,
take
it off and show what you have. Yeah. And may the most impressive specimen win. Yeah. Right. In San Francisco. So at the gay gym, the gay regular gym in San Francisco, Fitness SF in the Castro, there's a bathroom. There is a selfie bathroom.
Yes.
Basically. It's a single occupancy. There's two of them, actually. Single occupancy bathroom. The walls are tiled. One is like a pretty kind of turquoisey aquamarine. The other is a pretty purple lavender color. And that's where, and there will be a line at the doors waiting for everyone to go in and take their shirtless selfie in the mirror.
Wow.
And then there is an Instagram account that I don't find this account problematic. It's more of a meme account than anything else, but it also is a male physique focused meme account. And they will find the selfies on Instagram, choose their favorites, and put them into a grid, a grid post, and post it. And if you made the grid post, then you're one of the hottest men in San Francisco.
Oh, damn.
That's peacocking, right? And it's like you're showing what you've got in hopes that you get selected to be one of the premier.
That feels like it might transition to pick me. But Blake, did you know about this account?
I don't know about the account, and show it to me afterwards. I
don't even follow it now. I don't think, but I did it.
Oh, okay. No, well, I was going to say that actually reminds me. It's like, which I know straight dudes do this too, but we're specifically talking about queer dudes, and but they go to the gym. You wear the tanks, like the muscle tanks. You wear the short shorts, and you're going to get on that squat rack.
You're going to get on the squat rack.
You know what I mean? Yes, you are going to squat. You're going to do the ab, like you bend over and you do the ab lifts or the back extensions. Yes. Oh. And like it just however you can show off your ass, you're going to do it basically.
Okay.
And yes, and that you actually reminded me with the peacocking thing because you talked to birds, obviously. I saw a TikTok. I saw a TikTok comment literally like 2 days ago. It was actually a gay man dancing. So I don't even remember what the exact video was, but one of the comments that had the most likes was, I feel like a female bird. Or like, this video makes me feel like a female bird. Because they liked it. And they were getting... They were attracted to it.
They chose that one.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Pick-me's.
Pick-me's.
The ones who wear the short shorts.
A pick-me is... It's someone who is trying to impress the most impressive people. Right, so their inner monologue is pick me.
It's in straight culture and queer women culture as well, and same, and not interested and weird. Okay, but what do you think
about pick me culture and being a pick me?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what my opinion is. Pick me's are annoying. I think of a pick me in a classroom who's trying to get their professor's attention, like a know-it-all.
Every time,
sit in front.
You ain't gotta, sit in front, raise your hand. You're up the teacher's ass, like you're doing the most to show that you're the best.
Yeah,
that's annoying. But I also think there's a time and a place for promoting yourself. What am I trying to say?
Listen, and I like to show my best self just like anybody.
Well, we all do.
But I'm not really. But I don't feel that I am doing it to increase my social status.
Oh, totally.
That's where it crosses over into pick me, right? Like everybody likes attention. I want attention.
Yeah.
You know, I post a cute selfie of myself to get
too.
attention.
Well, of course.
But I'm not targeting someone who I've not gotten attention from in the past to try and give me attention, right? And that's not to say I never have.
Any final words?
Real. Yes. I think just because I think it's always good for us to end on a positive note when we talk about cultural things. I don't know how you all feel, but like one thing that I really wanted to get across by the end of this episode was like, I know we've been talking a lot of shit about different things in our communities, and like for me especially, like just like having like, I don't know, my own personal experiences and like just the perspective that I'm looking at our culture at from like public health and whatnot is like, I always want to blame a system and not people. And I think at the end of the day, I think people do a lot of this problematic shit for reasons that usually have to do with acceptance, belonging, wanting to fit in. They don't want to feel rejected, et cetera, et cetera. So there's like, I'm not saying that people who do these things sometimes are not pieces of shit, because they are. There are pieces of shit. And I'm trying to work on believing that everyone is a good person at heart.
You don't need to believe that, I don't think.
Thank you. Okay.
So, no.
Oh, thank God.
I think that would be more concerning than if
okay.
acknowledge that some people are just pieces
No,
of
they
shit.
are pieces of shit. And I'm
Plenty of people.
But
I know where you're going, and I agree with you.
Yeah, I just think yeah. Well, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you talked about why did I join kickball? Why did we do volleyball? We're leaving for volleyball right now at a park on a Sunday because it is away from the bars, and there's a really great group of people that we can meet there outside of a traditional queer centric setting that is all revolving around pleasure and sex and substances, and I don't know, like once you do that, all your 20s and 30s, it's fucking old. It's like, what else do we have to offer gay men other than sex and drugs and alcohol and, I don't know, vanity? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, or like affirmation or
can we all be friends? Yeah.
I think generally, and I am different because I am more than willing to believe that someone is just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I do think that generally people are doing the best that they can. You know, this is something that I have had to internalize in relation to like my family, for example, right? And it's like my mom, for example, she's no longer with us, but she, we had a difficult childhood, and in adulthood, I've had to accept that, like, she was doing the best that she could. She just wasn't able to do good enough, right? And so there's one side of it of accepting that everyone is doing the best that they can, but then there's also a side that, like, it's okay to say that, like, well, your best wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean you weren't doing your best, or that I think you could have done more, but it wasn't what I needed. And I think that,
that's new for me.
Yeah, I think that could be helpful for you, actually. But, like, in terms of all of these things we've been talking about, right? Like, everybody's just trying to figure out how to, like, be their best, live their best lives or whatever, right? And, like, that just means different things to different people.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that I am going to be friends with someone that I think is a piece of shit, you know? Just because I think they're doing their best. Yeah, like, whatever you think is best for you is not working for me, and that means that we are not for each other, you know?
Ooh, that's fascinating. Yeah. No, and, thank you for sharing that, because like I said, that's new for me, and I'm gonna sit with that. Yeah. I think,
and it doesn't mean that you change anything about, it doesn't, all it really means is that it's like, whatever boundaries you set are boundaries for you, and it's because it's like, it sounds like it's really positive about people, and it is, but it's also acknowledging the fact that, like, well, it doesn't matter if you were doing your best because it didn't give me what I needed.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
sure, yeah. No, well, and this is going to be different territory, kind of, but I see on social media now I love a meme that's really just a quote. I love that. I'm like, ooh, a little tagline to live by. That's kind of bullshit sometimes, but whatever. We'll take what we can and use it. But it's like, oh, be gentle on your mother. It was her first time living too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, she fucking sucked at it. And I'm also living for the first time. And so when you're like, okay, well, they're doing their best. It just wasn't what I needed. And, part of me is like, that was not your best. That was not your best. I'm not necessarily talking about my mother, okay? I am a little bit. But, I'm just like, is someone doing their best? Or do they just not want accountability? And do they want to say they're doing their best? I don't know. I don't have the words for it right now, but I'll think about it.
We'll come back to it.
And we'll finish it. But I have a lot to think about and say about it. Yeah.
So next time.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Thanks
so important.
for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome. This is just going to be one of your first shows with us. We'll see what we're wearing next time. We'll coordinate.
We'll see what we're wearing next time.
Yay. Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica. Teen moms.
I hope you loved this conversation as much as I did. This week on the Patreon, you can catch a video of Caleb describing their tattoo for paid members. Blake and Caleb will be back, as I said, to share their reviews of Leviticus, a horror film about two gay teens living in a religious community. The teens become tormented by a violent being that takes the form of the person they desire most, each other. The trailer is scary, but Variety says it's the summer's most surprising love story, so I'm willing to scream my way to a hopefully happy ending. TBD. This has been Making It Awkward. I'm Jessica Wilson. You can please rate, review, and subscribe to the show. You can join the Patreon. You can share it with a friend. You can find the show on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram at jessicawilson.msrd. You can buy my book, It's Always Been Ours. This show is edited by Jen Jacobs, who does not take gym selfies. It's supported by the legacy of Sacramento Outboard Services.